back to my channel. My name is Melissa with Male Inspirations, and today we're going to be making over this French Provincial side table that I found. It was a Facebook market find, and I just wanted to give it a better life. The shape is absolutely gorgeous. I've seen many dressers like this, or even bedroom sets, and I've been wanting to do one for a while. So when I saw this, I just had to grab it. It is very scuffed up, very dirty, old. The yellow on there is not my favorite. It just needed a fresh paint coat, and I had to grab it. So of course we're gonna go ahead and start off with taking off the hardware, and then once I get that, we're gonna go ahead and give this a thorough cleaning. These plates that were on the dressers, I'm not sure if that's an actual French Provincial thing that happens, but I did take them off because for me, I didn't really see any of them and I threw them away. Croy cutter is one of my favorite ways to clean any piece of furniture. My favorite part of it is you do not have to rinse afterwards, which is really nice. So I gave it a really good spray and a good wipe down, and made sure to get the insides of the drawers and everywhere else that I can find. And we are going to be using Dixie mud to fill in any scratches, nooks, any parts that need to be fixed. I let that dry for about 24 hours and then sanded everything down where it was even, and then I scuffed the dresser all around to make sure that the paint can adhere nicely onto the piece. Once everything's sanded, make sure to give a really good wipe down with a microfiber cloth or a tack cloth to get any dust. Now it's time for my most favorite part, and it's going to be painting. So I am going to be using Vintage Duck Egg by Dixie Belle. It's a very almost earthy periwinkle bluish color, baby blue color. It's really pretty, and I thought it would go very nicely with this little dresser, and it would really kind of pull out some of the nice detail on that. After the 2 coats have dried for the paint, I did notice at the very bottom of the dresser did have some damage that I missed. So I went ahead and put the mud back on there, let that dry for about 24 hours, and then went ahead and got that sanded smooth. The dresser track was put together by thumbtacks. For whatever reason, I guess it came loose and they tried to fix it. But I went ahead and took them off and got a little nail or a screw and just kind of put it back together. It was pretty wobbly when I first got it, but this did help make it better. I wanted to have a little bit of fun with the sides of the drawers and do something a little different. I found these little tissue papers at a Tuesday morning, and I thought they were really pretty, and I wanted to decoupage them onto the sides of the dresser. Now, in the end, I did not like the turnout. As you can see here, because I didn't paint the dresser white, the colors were extremely dull, but on the right side, you could kind of see where it was a little bit painted white. The flowers did look more vibrant. But then I did end up finding another tissue paper that I liked even more, so I went ahead and replaced it. So here I am going to go ahead and make it white, and that way it does pop a lot better. And then once the paint was dry, I went ahead and got everything decoupaged. Really loved how this tissue looked. It had some of the colors of the blue for the dresser, and I thought the reddish pink colors really kind of complemented that blue very nicely, and it did kind of have that vintage look. So I was very happy when I found this, and I thought it was just absolutely perfect for this piece. While the sides were drying, I wanted to add some gold accents to the drawers and around the dresser. I am using the gemstone mousse in gold. This is my favorite item to use. It really just enhances a lot of the pieces that I work on. At first on the filigree, I was just going to do a very nice dusting of the gold, but I didn't like it. It was just not enough pop, I guess. So I decided to paint the whole thing a solid gold, as you'll see here in a little bit. I thought it just looked a lot more nicer, and it just really popped against that blue. I think these two colors really go hand in hand, and I loved how it turned out. I decided to take just a little bit of that gold onto my fingers and just kind of go around the sharp edges of the doors and around the little side table as well. Just again, give it a little bit, just that little bit more sparkle and accents of gold. Now it's time to clean up the edges from the tissue that we added onto the side. It's really easy. All you need is some sanding block or paper and just sand down the edges of the doors, and it should just come right off and very clean. Now it did leave a little bit of a wear and tear look on the dresser. I really didn't mind it because I was trying to go for a very worn and vintage look. At this point, I was wanting to experiment a little bit with Big Mama's Butter, which is kind of a wax, and then the Dixie Belle Dirt in the color charcoal. I did want to dull this down just a little bit and make it look a little bit more vintage. It looks great now, but I wanted to experiment with this process because I've seen it around on Facebook with the pages I follow and on Instagram, and I kind of want to get my hand on it. So I am going to be using these wax brushes, and first we're going to have to put a little bit of wax on there. I put way too much on the brush because this is the first time I've ever used wax, so I managed to be able to wax the whole front side of the dresser. And then once I got that on there, I took my smaller brush of the wax brush and used the powder to kind of blend it in. Like I said, this is the first time I was using this product and did not realize just how powdery it was. So when you open it for the first time, just be careful not to get it all over your furniture. Anyway, so I am going to be using the smaller wax brush just to give it more of that detail. I didn't put a lot at first onto the brush just because I did not know how much it was going to pick up. I didn't want to go too crazy at first, so I just gently put it on the brush and went from there. And then you can always layer more onto the brush as well. So once I kind of got the amount, I went ahead and tapped off the excess and then started blending it onto the corners of the drawers. At first, it's going to look like there's a whole lot that's on there, but once you kind of get it on there, all you'll have to do is blend and blend and blend. So go every which way direction that you can, in circles, up and down, sideways. The more you blend, the more it's gonna spread out. And it seems like a little goes a very, very long way. So just be mindful with that. And if you need to take some off, you can always actually just use the wax, the clear wax that you used, and take some of the excess off. You can kind of see the difference between the top and the bottom drawers, and the difference of how that powder made it more dull in a sense. And I kind of wanted to have that effect just so that way I can kind of dull down the color, make it a little bit more vintage. Once I was done with that, I went ahead and did the whole dresser in that same process. So here, we are going to go on to doing the handles while the wax cures. It does take about a few days. The top right, I already colored that in that gold, the same gold that we used. So on the bottom right, or the bottom left, we're going to go ahead and get that painted. Again, gemstone mousse and golden gem. Really good stuff. I love it. And I use it for many things. And a little goes a very, very long way. So we're just going to take a brush and go ahead and get that painted. The inside of the drawers were really scuffed up, and I wanted to make them just look a little bit nicer, so I'm going to be using this contact paper that I got from Dollar Tree. It's really good stuff. I have it on some of my own furniture pieces at home, and they're pretty sturdy, and I like them. So I'm going to give this a good cleaning, get off any of extra dust, any stuff that's in there, and then cut it to size, and then just stick it on. Once I was able to get that peel and stick in there, I used this little rubber spatula from Dollar Tree, It's my favorite thing to use just to kind of get everything smooth out without breaking the contact paper. I've used other tools that were sharp or had metal pieces and it just kind of broke into that. So this rubber one, a little spatula, I loved it. It just works well and it's only $1 and you can get that picked up. My favorite hack. It's now the final step in putting the hardware back on. And here are the final results, and it could not look any different or any better than what it is now, at least in my opinion. And it just came out absolutely beautiful. The gold and that blue color just look so perfect together, and I just love it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a like if you did like it, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.